And hello. This is an artist interview time. I am here today with herself, Stephanie T. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you.
That's fantastic. Let's start off with a question, shall we? What really inspired you to get into this whole cosplay thing?
That's kind of like a hard question to answer. It was something that I'd seen around a lot on the internet and it looked like a lot of fun. I only got into it because of the friend that I was with at the time because her mom was really into sewing and everything. The characters are a huge deal for me. When I see characters that I can relate to a lot and that I really want to be and dress up as, it just kind of like really makes me want to get into the community and everything.
That's nice. You feel like that's kind of like created what you do as far as like when you go to conventions? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
2007's the first year that I say that I started cosplaying because that's when I like wore my first costume out. The span of years from 2007 to about 2014, I only really made / wore maybe like 4 or 5 costumes tops, and now that's how many costumes I make at least a year. Yeah.
I mean, wow, that's quite a lot. Do you feel like as like far as like you choosing like the characters that you do decide to cosplay is it kind of like personal favorite or?
At least for me and my friends, we know that there's kind of like a certain character that we tend to do. It's usually like lead heroines that I like to do, or like look-wise, I do a lot of the like dark-haired, like long dark-haired characters.
Of course, out of like all the varied characters that you do choose, does that go along with like also how you choose like your favorite like mangas or your animes or?
I definitely have like a favorite genre of things that I like to watch. There's a lot of times where like friends will approach me saying like, oh yeah, there's this anime I really like that you should watch. But most of the time in order to get me to watch it, what they'll throw into is that they're like, there's someone that you could cosplay from it too, because that really gets me.
So like what were your future plans you would say that you have?
I just yesterday watched all of Space Patrol Luluko. I want to do her mom from that show, whose name's Godspeed Lolico. So that's like a plan that I just made yesterday. And then I'm also going to be doing Shiki Misaki from The World Ends With You. It's kind of like an older plan, but I wanted to do Miss Blizzard or Fubuki from One Punch Man. So that's kind of like what I have in terms of ideas of what I'll do in the future. Modeling stuff is a little more difficult because you don't have a character to fall back on. It's something I definitely want to practice because I'd like to get more well known with my cosplay stuff, and the thing with modeling is that will always lend a hand to what you do in cosplaying because, you know, all modeling is kind of the same.
I feel like the like main argument about like, you know, some girls going to like conventions and not necessarily going as cosplayers, but mostly in like a Halloween costume that they would say is cosplay. You feel like it's starting to turn into kind of like almost a Halloween-esque type?
Like if you're the one wearing the costume, then you get to dictate whether or not it is cosplay, because another huge like kind of argument within the cosplay community is handmade versus store-bought, like whether it's money or time, or, you know, like family isn't really for it, or they don't have the space. You know, not everyone's going to be able to make their own costumes. I think it's just important that everyone kind of tries not to mind what other people think so much, because other people are always going to have something to say about what you do, especially when it comes to cosplay. And cosplay is something that we do for a variety of reasons. I feel like primarily out of like a lot of love for whatever it may be, whether it's the character or it's the craft. And I feel like it's important that we should just like love what we do and not mind so much what other people are doing.
What would you say you would give as far as like advice goes to future cosplayers?
I think the bottom line is to have fun, because it's really easy to get stressed out with cosplay, but the whole point of it, I think, should be that you're having fun and that you're enjoying what you're doing. When you have what you want and you're proud of it and you're happy, I think that's the most important thing. Finding a community like this is like there's nothing else like it. You know, just find people who are interested in the same thing as you and don't be afraid to try new things. The friends that I've made through this are some really amazing people, and I'm super grateful to have them in my life, and I think it's definitely a worthwhile decision. The only thing is, I would just say to never push yourself to the point where you never enjoy yourself anymore.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you for being here. Thank you for letting me interview you. Thank you for watching.